Hello guys, welcome back. Wanted to do another video for you, but I won't post this until tomorrow. I'm doing kind of on last tiniest bit of Loki's holiday. We're gonna just kind of stretch out time, kind of do a quantum physics thing. I swear, the older I get, the more I'm getting Cesar Romero's here. It's like getting that red color in it. Or am I imagining it? Go ahead, feel free to comment below and say, whoa girl, adjust your medication. It must be, I don't know, maybe I'm picking up the red from the red I'm wearing. But, kind of wanted to talk about kind of like a breakthrough I had. And, a lot of people say Loki is hard to work with, and he is. And I know I should probably not wear glasses when I, do things. I know you guys do see reflections in them. I do apologize, but I am blind as a bat, and if I don't, I'd be like squinting at you like this. And I think it's easier for you guys to bear with the reflection than to bear with me looking at you like this. So just kind of please deal with it, guys. And I can't wear contacts, by the way. I have nystagmus, as you guys notice. The eyes go back and forth. And contacts just won't sit in my eyes well. No matter what I've done, they'll like stay for like 10-20 seconds, and then I'll just like, they will literally like fly out of my eyes. So, okay. No, I like have to think about that, because now that I'm like quote unquote entertainer, as I have to say on my taxes, I do have to say that on my taxes to be on YouTube. I have to think of things like that, like how do I look on camera that. Okay, so, thing I wanted to teach you or talk to you about Loki is, he is a little hard to work with, but like for me, the hardest thing to work with him was, we all have a hard lesson with Loki, and I can't tell you what your hard lesson is going to be, because for all of us, it's going to be a different one, and I cannot give you good advice. I can only set a bad example. My example was stumble around blindly and take forever to learn the hard lesson, and, you know, do the exact opposite of what I should have done. And that's how I learn. So do the exact opposite of what I did, and that's probably what you should do. And, yeah, I got my humble pie, and, you know, he didn't do it to be cruel, by the way. You know, it was just, I don't drag out the violence anymore. One of the things he finally taught me, and the hard lesson for me, was that, and this is going to be another one of my long roundabout stories, but it's okay, and I'm like ready to tell you the story. And ready to tell you in the past tense, which is good, which is improvement. There are 3 books on Loki written in a pro-Loki way that I know of. 2 are written by an Odin's woman. I'm sure you're aware of. You can get them on Amazon. One's written, I'm not sure what the person's relation to Loki is or where they got their information. It's available on Etsy. Those are the 3 books that I'm aware of. I own the 2 that were from Amazon. And those are kind of the books he used to initiate kind of like healing that took a couple years, because as you know, I have one of those lovely childhoods. And what it took was, it took those books, not that they were like the world's greatest books, but it was like one article in the book about, Loki would take all the bad stuff out of your life, and he would like, throw it in a fire and, you know, burn it all to ashes. And he will, but it took the longest time, because with, my family, if you've like studied science or you studied psychology, you know, if you condition a rat or you condition any other animal or you condition a human, you can teach them to expect something. So you can condition anything, humans included, to expect certain treatment for certain behavior. And it took Loki almost 40 years to condition me not to expect to be basically, to give you an analogy, not to be given an electroshock every time I went for food or water or anything else. Um, I can tell you this from a place of being okay with it now, but you guys know that if you're from the main channel, you know that I had the kind of home where my parents were, and I don't use the term disrespectfully, kind of bipolar. You could come home and my parents could be totally normal towards me and my brother, or you could come home and wanting a glass of water could get you in trouble. Wanting food could get you in trouble. Wanting to take a nap could get you in trouble. Like, you never knew what was going to catch you hell. And my apologies to hell. Like, the first thing I tried to do when I started working with her is try to not swear using her name, but you just never knew. And that was hard because they did a number on us kids. And it took Loki about 40 years to get me over it, because as they got older, my parents never got to the point where they came to terms with what they did to us. They got angry and defensive over it, but they never came to terms and apologized. Do you know what I mean? And both my brother and I were in therapy. And I have not heard from my brother in years, so I don't know if he's still in therapy, but I was in therapy, and basically in my family, like, I'm sure in a lot of families, especially with people that deal with Loki, because he tends to, like, cradle up the broken to him. My family liked to pretend it never happened, that this was all in my head, in my brother's head. And if it hadn't been for my therapist and psychologist and that saying no, and psychiatrists saying, no, this happened to you. You were abused. You were abused. This happened to you. You did not make this up. This is common for abusers, and this is common for abusive families to cover this up, to want to live in a magic land where the abuse never happened. Because, you know, they have all these guilt feelings, all this other crap. So at least I had people validating it. And so it was like I had human beings validating it. It wasn't just like Loki inside my head going, yeah, it happened. So, you know, finally I've reached the point where, you know, and this is just like recently, like within the last month or so, I finally reached a point where finally realized that not all humans are as effed up as my family. And like even the aunts, even today, if I would try to talk to them about the abuse I went through, they would tell me, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Or they do what's worse. They want to throw you a pity party and make you a victim. And that is not how you help people over abuse. You do not disempower people. You help people through the abuse. And if you don't know how to help them through the abuse, you get them to somewhere where they can get help. But you do not throw people a pity party. You don't turn people into a victim all over again. So that was my hard lesson. My hard lesson was it was okay. That it was okay that I survived all this, that it was okay that my family was this messed up, that I'm okay, and that, you know, I can finally, like, heal, that I can finally be a whole person again, that, you know, none of this was my fault. It was not my fault that I was born into a family with screwed up parents. Unlike that new age bullshit that people pass around, I didn't choose, you know, two fucked up people to be my parents any more than people chose, like some of that fucked up shit you see people say, like, oh, the people in the Holocaust chose to go through that as a learning experience. Fuck you, man. Like, they didn't choose that shit any more than I would have chose fucked up parents and, like, pedo bear uncles and shit like that. Nobody chooses the fucked up shit you go through. You just end up with, like, fucked up family members. And it's, like, sad, right? That's why, like, when I see these people with, like, these Hallmark bullshit lives, I think that's why Facebook just, like, fucking pisses me off. I'm actually okay. If I'm swearing, I'm, like, actually in a good place. If I'm, like, minding my P's and Q's and not swearing and being, like, Mother Teresa, that's when you have to worry about me. It's like, if I'm getting angry all the time and yelling and, like, watching horror movies, you know I'm in a good, healthy place. It's when I'm acting like Mother Teresa and not swearing and being really friendly and happy all the time. that's when you know, like, oh my God, what's the matter? Hide the guns. What's the matter with her? So yeah, if I'm swearing, I'm okay. Because, like, I had somebody ask me on the other channel, why do you swear? Well, first off, I'm 40 fucking years old. That's why I swear. I usually try not to, but I worked in the kitchen. Jesus. Okay? Oh man. And that it's like a thing. It's just like a natural part of my personality. I don't do it to offend people. I just do it like when I get frustrated. I do it when it seems appropriate to the situation. And I do it because most of the people on this channel should be grown-ass adults. So if you can't handle swearing, you're probably not going to handle Loki too well. He's not the patron saint of the innocent and pure by any stretch of imagination. He's not pure evil, but he is, as one person said that works with him, naughty. And I like that description. He is naughty. There's this is it a song or is it just a word poem about this guy being naughty? And every time the guy says naughty, and it's in this English accent, the guy goes, yeah, like that. I'm like, yeah, that's Loki exactly. I have to find that, and you have to hear it because it's in this British accent. I know that was horrible. I apologize to my British listeners. Oh dear Lord. But yeah. For me, that was my hard lesson. Hopefully, hopefully to the gods, your hard lesson is not that hard. But, he snuck up on me in this tiny little foxworm. Not this foxworm, this is Sprinkles. But I wondered why he, kept insisting on his foxworm with me. And then, he's used other forms, but I wonder why he kept insisting on the fox. And then when I was finally watching foxes the other day on YouTube, I realized why. I was watching the foxes play with their mom and, their mom, because I watch, most of the fox videos are from the UK. I don't want to tell English viewers what happens to foxes in America. They go to Valhalla. Anyhow, the fox cubs were playing with them, and what the one fox cub did is the mom had the one pinned down and the other one was playing with the tail. The one did this brilliant maneuver, went underneath mom like this, flipped on her back, and kicked up, boom, with all 4 feet, kicked up as hard as she could, kicked mom right in the milk sacks. Mom's eyes went big as saucers. You could tell it had to hurt. Because, mom was huge. Because these babies, even if they had gotten off the milk sacks at that point, mom was still huge. Mom's eyes went big like this. And yet, mom was such a good mom. She was such a good mom. Instead of getting mad, she didn't get mad at all. She was so proud of that baby for that brilliant maneuver because she was not just playing with those babies. She was teaching them how to fight for their lives. She was teaching those babies how to fight, and that was the sneakiest, smartest baby, the one that went underneath her and kicked up at her vulnerable place when she was distracted because she was fighting with the one and the other one had her tail and she wasn't really paying attention and she left her belly wide open. And the smart one got underneath her and kicked up, and she was so proud of that one. And then she was playing with all of them, and then, probably lavishing attention on that one at one point because, mom only has a certain amount of time with her cubs to teach them how to fight. And she has to teach them how to fight for their lives because they're a tiny little animal. They're actually like a prey animal to a lot of larger animals. So she has to teach them to fight for their lives. And, Loki kind of teaches us that too. He'll teach us how to fight, and he'll teach us how to fight for ourselves. And not that he won't fight for us, he will. But, he teaches us how to fight, and he teaches us, how to fight through things because, sometimes we weren't born with the skills, or the people that should have taught us the skills did not teach us the skills. And he'll come along and he'll be like, okay, this is the skills you need. I'll be your fox mom and I'll be your fox dad and I'll teach you these skills. And I will teach you these things that you should have learned as a tiny little fox cub, and I'll make a proper fox out of you. That's kind of like how I like to say it. He kind of makes proper foxes out of all of his people. You can kind of tell his people, not that everybody's going to associate foxes with him. Other people might choose wolves or snakes or something else, but he's gonna kind of make proper foxes with out of all of his people. If they're not already, all together, if they're not already, don't have all four paws under them or whatever, he'll get them there. But by hook or by crook, he'll get them there. And so he did that for me, and I appreciate that because he did for me what years of therapy couldn't do. He did for me what all the drugs I've been on for all these years couldn't do. Um, he just came through and he sorted it out and he did everything. And it took until recently because so many things kept happening. Like we would be working together and people would get in the way, and we would separate, and we would be working together and people get in the way, and we'd separate and blah 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 blah. And it was just finally time. And he was finally like, enough is enough. You finally are ready. You finally want to get better, because you have to want to get better. You have to want to work with him. You have to want it badly enough. You have to want to fight like a little fox cub wants to fight. And once I wanted that badly enough, once I wanted it that badly enough to be, want to fight with mom and learn how to fight, then he was willing to teach me. And that's the thing. It's the teacher that'll take care of you and heal you and make you better. It's the teacher that'll do it. And you won't even realize he's doing it. You'll just think you're wasting your time doing all this random stuff, and it'll actually be Loki healing you. So, wow, I've really gone on a long time. I just realized that. But I wanted to share that with you because it's maybe not, it wasn't easy for some of you to hear, and I apologize for that, but I don't mind sharing it with you because if I can go through that crap and I can get better and I can feel better and be appreciative of it, then you can go through whatever you're going through and get better too. And I really believe it because, I'm actually looking forward to the day when I wean Talia off the depression medication. I could throw the damn pills out and I never go back on them. I don't know if the tremors I have came from the pills. But even if I have them the rest of my life and I'm on the tremor medication the rest of my life, that's okay because, and I did need the medication help Loki do his work. Don't get me wrong. Don't just pray to Loki and never, go seek professional help. Please don't misunderstand me. But, he got me where I needed to be. It was just, I didn't give a shit about myself before. I was like, I don't give a shit about myself. I'm just going to go on medication the rest of my life and, fuck the world and I'm a victim and boo and who. But when I finally was ready to fight, when I finally gave a damn about myself, that's when he could finally do something with me. When I was ready to fight back, when a little cub was ready to fight back and put her little claws out, that's when he could finally do something with me. So I am extremely, extremely grateful to him, and I hope that helps someone out there. And I'm just, I'm really grateful to him. And, oh, by the way, guys, if you're watching this to end on a happier note, he is getting a little octopus in. I ordered him a little octopus. He's been using the octopus so much, I'm like, okay, you're going to get a little octopus. And he has, I can't show you, can't turn the camera, but he has a little crow over there because he uses crows a lot too. It's not me mistaking Odin's ravens. It's him using crows. He's a little bit of a smart butt. He uses crows and he uses foxes. And he likes to use scorpions. He likes to use gross stuff like centipedes. Anything he could do to gross me out. He's like a little boy. If he could find if worms bother me, and I love worms, if worms bothered me, he'd be dropping worms on me. It's like he's 2. Yeah, I'm gonna drop these on you. Okay, guys, but I wanted to share that with you because it was really a big breakthrough for me, and this is like my pet fox, so I don't have a real one inside the house. And yeah, I have been being summoned by the actual foxes outside. They've just been screaming their full heads off lately, and They've been happy. It's not been like them talking to each other. It's been more like, we appreciate that you leave stuff out for us. And last year they left me a bunny, so we'll see if they leave me a bunny this year. I gave them the bunny back. I didn't have the heart to keep a bunny when I know they're hard working Vixen and Todd trying to raise a family. So I gave them the bunny back. Yeah, that was sweet of them. They're darling little neighbors. They'll look out for you. There's nothing like when people are trying to sneak through your yard and cause trouble to hear the blood-curdling scream of a fox. There are people running out of your yard because they think there's demons in your yard. Okay, guys, I will see you later. Bye-bye.